Hello, welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo. With me, Tomas. What's up, bro? Welcome back to the podcast studio. But yeah, so we're going to talk about Chivas versus America. Chivas got that win, 2-1 versus America. The most unlikely win, because honestly, even being Chivas fans, I didn't really have much hope for the team. But they came out strong. They came out fighting. They actually got the win. It's been 8 years since they won in the league phase. I mean, obviously, we've gotten important wins for Chivas, in Liguillas, in Conca Champions as well. But it's been a while since Chivas were able to get a win in Ciudad de Mexico in the league in general. But yeah, before we get into every detail on the match and all the narratives surrounding the match, make sure you guys subscribe, check out all the platform links down below. All right, bro. So what did you think instantly about the match? But going beforehand, before the match even started, did you have a lot of hope for America? For Chivas?
My thought was this, it's going to be like how they were playing these past few weeks. They hold the ball well, they attack well, they just can't finish.
Yeah.
But it was quite the opposite. We see a Chivas team that came out and said, let America have the ball. Because I'd like to think that Milito noticed this. The only way America was able to score in these past few jornadas, if you notice, they give the other team the ball and they wait for a mistake from them.
Yeah.
So this time Milito just gave America the ball. You see, let's see what you can actually create.
And wait for their mistakes.
Exactly, and wait for their mistakes, obviously. But if you look at the first half, Chivas isn't really even looking for their mistakes. They're just kind of saying, let's see what they can do with the ball.
Yeah. And we'll just stay back a little bit, defend well.
Stay back a little bit, defend well. And with the players that they have, Chivas defensively has been so poor recently. So they kind of give America the ball, focusing on defense, and it works out in the first half. You kind of notice, they can't attack us. They have no creativity. Fidalgo goes out in the first half.
Yeah, he was already hurt throughout. He had was it an injury by himself or it's because of a tackle?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I
want to say there was a tackle and his knee kind of locked.
It kind of looks like maybe he was touched up during the week and then that kind of
triggered it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it looks like because it wasn't that hard of a tackle.
Yeah,
it could look uncomfortable if anything. But my thought process is that Fidalgo goes out and it's kind of like he's the most creative player and he wasn't able to create nothing in the first half.
Yeah, Maximin actually in that first half probably looked the best. He was taking on 3-4 players, leaving the forwards or the midfielders when he would play that final through ball, leaving them 1v1 because there was at least the clearest opportunity I think was for Buffalo. El Buffalo Aguirre, he was just basically 1v1. He hits this with his left foot but towards the outside of the goal. Tala had nothing to do in this game. Pretty much. He had 0 saves in this match.
But then you look at it again, they only had 1 shot on goal.
Mm-hmm.
They had 10 shots. America had 10 shots.
But there were aproximaciones and that was it. There was nothing really threatening about their attack.
It wasn't this America, where we were able to see from when Richard Sanchez or Cabecita Rodriguez would hit from outside the box when they had nothing going forward. No, it was really just they had one game plan, build forward, and when they were able to do anything with that, it was gone. And I honestly give credit to Milito because I feel like that's one of the few coaches I noticed that. America doesn't score, at least in this season, building forward. They score off of mistakes. They score off of counters. They score off of anything else except for building forward. Whereas in, 2-3 seasons ago, we're seeing Alvaro Fidalgo link up with Diego Valdez, Richard Sanchez, Cabecita Rodriguez. Now it's kind of just like three of those players are gone.
I feel like a key piece was missing is to Henry Martin. Obviously he's coming back from injury, but he would also be that one to link up play, especially from the forward position. Buffalo Aguirre is not like that. He's more of a natural striker just to finish whatever's inside of the goal.
It's because you get 2 problems right here, right? So Henry Martin, he scores occasionally.
Yeah.
But I feel like Buffalo might be a more prominent 9 in the sense of going forward. But Henry Martin is that 9 that can give you stability building forward.
Yeah. Connecting with the midfielders with the wingers.
Exactly. Now, for that, you need really good wingers that can finish, and I think St. Maximin is that.
Yeah.
But, being locked up by 2 to 3 Chivas players each time you get the ball.
It's difficult.
A lot of people say, Chivas have needed 3 players. That's how you play football. When you have a player that's so good, look, St. Maximin is not 40. He's 28.
Yeah.
He still has that physicality. He's still able to go. He's technically in his prime for the average footballer, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, you need those players on him. Because, look at him. It was 18, 19-year-old kid on the right back?
It's Sandoval, right?
Yeah,
and the second half, he came on.
And it's kind of just yes, obviously, he needs help. And guys Sandoval was able to figure it out by the end of the match. But I mean, in the first half, St. Maximin on that right back, he was doing it how he wanted to.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, this match was really just.
It was just Chivas waiting for their mistake.
Chivas waiting for the mistake of America while defending well. While this whole season, it's been quite opposite. Chivas, trying to go forward,
Have the ball, trying to outplay the other team pretty much.
Exactly.
That's what happened against Cruz Azul. But you saw that the quality that Cruz Azul possessed, like in the two mistakes that Chivas made, Cruz Azul scored on them right away.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's just a change of mentality, and maybe I don't know.
It's a little bit of like
a lot of people saying that it was against Milito's, because they were saying it's against Milito's
style of play.
Style of play, exactly. And it's like kind of like this. I don't give a fuck what your style of play is. Tuca Ferretti has gone from a possessive style of play to a counterattack style of play to a style of play where it's fast build up to a style of play where it's slow build up that we saw at Tigres.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he gave a fuck because he kept winning. That's why he kept changing it.
Yeah, you have to be able to adapt. I mean, especially according to your rivals, and that's what he did against America.
Yeah, when you have a coach that has a good style of play that's prominent in it, like Pep, he has to have that style of play. He has to have the players that he wants. He has to have the money. He has to have everything that he wants and needs.
Yeah.
But when you have a coach that's able to adapt, it's more like Sir Alex Ferguson. He could win championships in different generations with different players. And obviously, Pep was able to do that, but it's just different because he kept his style.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alex Ferguson almost won a Champions League with Chicharito, a 5'9" striker, starting.
I mean, look at Manchester United nowadays. I mean, Ruben Amorim, he has like his set style of play. He even said after the game, after they lost against Man City, he was like, "Oh well, if you like, I'm gonna keep my style of play. Like the way I play is the way I play. If you don't like it, change the man, pretty much." But nowadays, you have to be flexible as a coach tactically, and that's what we saw a little bit from Milito. Kind of keeping the same style overall, like trying to keep possession, especially later on in the second half. I think what helped too was Fidel was injured, like you mentioned. Like he got hurt. He's like the one that controls the tempo in that midfield. Like he'll speed up the play. He also slow down the play. He also gives you that balance in the midfield that Chiquito Sanchez doesn't, because he's more of like a just all focus on attack type of player. And then they throw on Brian Rodriguez because he was the direct sub for Fidalgo. I think he ended up pushing Maximin a little bit towards the middle, Brian towards the left, and then at that point it was just four forwards pretty much, and none of them really tracking back. So that's where the Chivas' midfielders and forward have all that space to just like operate pretty much, and that's what we saw in that first goal. There was like at least like 15 to 20 touches before Piojo's goal.
What I'd like to think is that maybe Jardine was trying to read Milito. He said, this, because Jardine said this, looking at the teams, the ones that has the best style of play has been Chivas this whole tournament. These past 7-8 games.
They have like an actual idea of how they're gonna play football.
Exactly, that's what he said. He said that they have this offensive ideology. They have the best offensive ideology right now. They build forward, they attack well. Sometimes they can't finish. He said that's football. Sometimes your players are young, like they have young players, and they can't finish.
Yeah.
It happens. It's a mental thing. It takes years to. Sometimes
it takes experience and it takes consistency, all that stuff. Yeah.
So Jardine, having this in mind, he probably expected Chivas. Chivas is gonna come in the front foot. Being a Clasico, being this, being that.
Yeah, based on what was seen in the past few matches, yeah.
He probably set his team up. We'll let Chivas propose and we'll counter. And when he sees that, he's trying to adjust to it. He goes to 4 forwards. That's when Chivas starts to counter. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what happened.
Milito, this was a chess match at the end of the day. A lot of people want to say, the players on the field, but at the end of the day, the biggest match that was won was between Milito versus Jardine.
Yeah. That was the biggest storyline, see who was going to get the better of the other one. Argentino contra Brasileño. Obviously, the Argentinian got the better one in this case. Yeah, I mean, the first goal was, like I said, it was like at least 15, 20 touches, like great build-up from the Chivas players, like something that we had been seeing, but now they actually put the ball in the back of the net. Piojo, and there's a second goal in like the past 3 matches. He scored against Tijuana. Didn't score against Cruz Azul.
No, he didn't.
But then now the other day against America. So he's starting to score, starting to get back into his rhythm. I think maybe he noticed when I think Milito sat him down for one of the matches. I think it was against Tijuana when he sat him down, right? He put him on the bench. So maybe he's just like, oh shit, maybe I do have to step it up. So obviously we want to see that from him, because then that translates into the selección.
Piojo is injured now, so.
He got injured in the game?
Yeah, he got injured. He twisted his
ankle. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see how long. Do you know how long he's going to be out for?
I'm not sure, to be honest, right now. But
Did
from
it
what
put-
it looks like, it's at least a week. Just to be safe.
All right, so you just twisted his ankle.
He
I
just
honestly didn't
twisted
see
his
that part
ankle.
because I was watching the
It
Canelo
looked pretty
Crawford
bad.
fight.
It was pretty swollen, but I don't think he broke it. I don't think he fractured it.
All right, maybe he'll be out for like a couple weeks. But then going into the second goal, I mean, what a goal.
The second goal is a product of the whole match, to be honest, because it's especially like this because America's going forward slowly. They're trying to build up slowly. You know, Chivas doesn't allow them to have anything. Chivas ends up scoring. Now America has to go forward, right? So it's a product of what happened throughout the match. It's just a counter, you know, and I mean,
A well-taken counter,
a
too.
well-taken counter, but
Ormiga, bro, like fucking...
I did not expect that because
Yeah. He's not... I haven't seen him score a goal like that.
I haven't seen him score a goal off a counter. It's always just like he ends up fucking it up or he ends up, you know, just some juvenile...
He's a
juvenile
natural...
action.
He's a natural poacher, like, inside of the box. Like, most of the goals that he scored, they've been, like, inside of the box. But, like, for him to, like, actually take the ball from, like, 30, 40 yards, you know, dribbling all the way up until, like, the top of the box. And I think he was against Lichnowsky, and he was able to, like, kind of hide the ball a little bit from him, and then, I mean, puts in a good shot with his left foot. He's not even lefty, he's a righty.
Yeah.
So it was a, like, clinical shot from outside of the box, like, right, pegado al poste, bro. Like, there was nothing Malagón could do. I mean, he was fully stretched, but you saw Malagón's face after. He was like, fuck, like, that was a good goal.
And if there's any player that you can't blame for anything in this America team, it's Malagón because it's both goals. It's kind of like a cross that's in between two center backs.
He's not going to get that,
yeah,
bro.
I'm sorry, but the right center back has to either adjust to that or get there some fucking how.
Yeah.
And the second goal is kind of like he has two center backs in front of him.
Someone's got to press him.
Somebody's got to go.
Step to him.
Look, you're down 1-0. You're at home. Lichnowsky has to either foul him because there's a second Chivas player and there's a second America player.
Yeah.
He fouls him, he gets a yellow.
Yeah, max. And that's it.
Exactly. I'm looking at this build out, and I'm like, oh, Lichnowsky's gonna, you know, tug on his shirt, yank his shoulder, he's gonna slide him something. And
But he kind of like backed off the whole way.
I kind of just see him like, I kind of said, I'm like, oh, that's a goal, and then he scores it. Well, obviously, what fucking man can't score a fucking goal from the top of the box?
Yeah.
It's just insane. It's like, I didn't expect that from Lichnowsky because I think I have him on this pedestal of like one of the best center backs in recent times for at least America. And it's kind of just, I see this build out, and I'm thinking,
maybe he didn't even know how far, like, there was, like, how much space he had left until they got to the goal.
okay, but think about this. Your only job is to know that as a center back. You know, the goal's behind me. Where am I?
By the time he, like, actually, like, realizes, oh, shit, I'm at the top of the box, boom, goal.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, if you're on a 2v2, I mean, at least this is what I've seen in the juveniles, what's it called, of Italian teams. You know, U13, U14. If you're on a 2v2 and you're getting countered, you foul him every time.
Bring him down.
You foul him, you get a yellow.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they always say it's either the ball or the man, but never man. But never both. Never both.
And even that ideology is in Mexico, es la pelota o el hombre, pero nunca los dos.
Yeah. And in that case, I mean, technically, La Hormiga didn't really get through him, but just he had all that space to really think. I mean, you shouldn't be allowing a natural number 9 like La Hormiga, who's been in good form, to have that space to think.
And I don't know who was running alongside La Hormiga, I forgot. But he was off for a good portion of the run, and he kind of gets back on. I think he's going to pass it, but then he's a forward.
Yeah.
He likes to shoot, and we've seen him shoot out of desperation sometimes, so I just...
No, it was a great finish. That's his 4th goal this season, 4th goal in 8 matches, but I think he's the 3rd highest Mexican goal scorer in the league so far, so right behind Berterame and then Angel Sepulveda. But the difference between Hormiga right now and Sepulveda specifically is that Sepulveda has 2 penalty kick goals, and then Berterame has 5, like, all goals from open play, not from the set piece.
Yeah, I mean, it would help if Hormiga was a designated penalty shooter.
And then he would get...
I just feel like at 19, that's kind of unrealistic, at least for Chivas.
I mean, bro, honestly, like, at 4 goals, I mean, if they want to aspire to something, because obviously Chicharito didn't get any playing time. He's not in good form. Well, Pulido, Don Enrique hasn't seen any minutes either. I mean, you have to kind of rely heavily on La Hormiga, give him those penalties, give him the what is it called, like, the confidence, the leadership, so he can show that he's, you know, the next one.
I think there's no doubt that he's the next one. It's just difficult because you don't know what you're gonna get out of it. I mean, we saw Pulido miss a penalty the other day. You know, Pulido, he's like, what, 33?
Yeah, his experience.
33 years old experience. I don't think I've seen him miss a penalty in Chivas prior to that. You know, when he was in his moment with 2016, 2017, 18, and 19. I mean, he was really good at penalties, and it's kind of I see him miss a penalty, so I don't know. Maybe that change is needed to go to La Hormiga as a designated penalty kicker, because he did it very well in the League's Cup at least.
Now, kind of talking about La Hormiga, I mean, we're just like keeping on this topic. I saw a post yesterday. I thought it was kind of interesting. Like, obviously, Santi and Raul, they're the first two strikers, but obviously the discussion around La Selección Mexicana specifically is who's going to be the third choice striker. Is it going to be Henry Martin when he comes back from injury? Angel Sepulveda, Berterame obviously got called up in the recent call-ups, or we saw La Hormiga got called up for the Microciclo, and apparently Vasco really liked his attitude. Obviously, he didn't get to see him in an actual match, but he liked what he saw from him in practices. So, and obviously he's doing very well in league. Like I said, 4 goals. If he keeps it up, do you think he can maybe make that surprise in Vasco's list for the World Cup as a third striker?
If we had a serious national team,
They would take him.
Yeah. Because this is what I'm gonna say. Historically, Mexico, that third position has always been an experienced old player, right? That third 9 position. You know, it's either been in 2010 when Vasco took Bofo. In 2006, La Volpe takes, I forget who, but I know it's an experience again. Somebody experienced as well. 2002, Vasco again takes, I forgot his name. Franco. Now, this is my idea. Every strong nation, France, Portugal, Argentina, that third position is a young, experienced player coming up. Argentina took Julian Alvarez the other year.
And then he ended up actually making the jump to be a starter.
Exactly. Because Lautaro was starting for the first 2 games. And then he kind of has a difficult game versus Mexico. Julian Alvarez starts the 3rd game and holds on to it. So if Mexico had a serious national team, La Hormiga would have that 3rd position, because those first 2 positions are for the players that are in prominent form.
Yeah, they're already locked. Either starters if they play together, or at least for sure it's going to be Raul and then Santi coming off the bench.
Exactly. That's my idea. You know, if we have a serious national team, if this national team wants to be able to build something, it has to go to a young player. I'm not saying La Hormiga. I think right now it's La Hormiga because of the form that he has, the goals that he has. There's no player that's his age or even around his age group that are doing what he's doing, so I think it's him. But it's just a consequence of what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, if it was an America player, it'd be the same thing. If it was a player from Pachuca, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, there would be we see it with every other player, like in Elias Montiel. Oh yeah, call him to the national team. Look at the performances that he's doing. Look how good he's playing. Obviously, he's had it at a more consistent rate because he's been playing first division for a longer amount of time. But I mean, in this form, I do believe he at least deserves a shot. You know, at least in these next call-ups, call him up to La Mayor. We know Sepulveda. We know what you can get out of him. In Berterame, we saw. Putting him in not the right position. Obviously, Vasco played him at the right wing position for whatever reason, but didn't deliver whatsoever. At least give him a chance. You already saw him in the Microciclo. Give him a chance playing. Give him some minutes against Colombia, against Ecuador, against fucking even Portugal. I don't know. See what he can do off of the bench.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm a strong believer in that ideology. You know, I have a young player that can learn from these 2 older, experienced players. Why would that 3rd position go to an older player? What's he gonna learn? He's done.
He's done. Yeah.
He's done. He learned all he was gonna learn.
We already have our experienced striker in Raul Jimenez.
Exactly.
The most experience you get.
Raul Jimenez is the most experience we can get right now.
Yeah.
He's the player that's been through Europe. He's still in Europe at his age right now.
Yeah, all the trials and tribulations he's been through. He's the one that's everyone has to be looking up to him.
Exactly. And now it's after that you have Santi Jimenez. You know, he was the best striker in the Dutch league in recent history. He's at AC Milan right now. You know, he's getting minutes even though they really don't want him there. Some players. So it's kind of just you have a player that proved himself in the Prem. You know, because that's what Raul Jimenez did for 2017, 18, and 19.
Yeah.
He proved himself who he was. You have a player that proved himself in the Dutch league, and he's trying to aspire to prove himself in the next league that he's in. Now give that 3rd position to a player that is trying to prove himself in the league he's in right now, which is Liga MX, and looking to jump into a European league.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good look for Chivas too, because we know we've been producing, or Chivas have been producing some talent. You know, we see Mateo Chavez, who had just left, Hugo Camberos, who's in the talks of going to Europe, maybe sometime in the winter or next summer.
So the reason that's what I was gonna talk about. So the reason Hugo Camberos isn't playing is because Well, allegedly, is because there's talks with the European clubs that they really don't want him to play this, at least until the 6 months are over.
We'll see what happens with him. Yeah, El Padilla too was one that was like in and around la selección, or at least the under 20s. I don't know if he got called up for the under 20,
He did,
but
yeah.
like recently we haven't seen him like get mentioned.
There's
for
like
playing time.
five. I'm sorry, bro. There's like 5 players in the under 20s that could easily be inside the selection right now.
Yeah, at least for sure Hugo and right now Odemiga. I mean, based on form.
Hugo, I don't think Hormiga's in there, but so Hugo, Elias Montiel, Mora. Obviously, Mora's already in there.
Yeah.
But there's 2 more. I forgot. But either way, like, I just think we need to start risking, playing these younger players.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I'm
what
tired
every
of
other
seeing-
national team does,
I'm tired
bro.
of seeing Charlie. I'm tired of seeing Orbelin. Orbelin did what he had to do for Chivas. He did what he had to do for the selección in this moment, which was winning a Gold Cup in 2019, and that's about it. But it's just, Gilberto Mora is going to be better offensively than Orbelin right now.
Yeah, we already said he has like 7 goals and assists in a few matches.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of just like, why keep taking these players, especially Charlie, when there's better players? And if there's not better players, there's players that are more talented that just don't get the minutes to develop, their full potential.
Yeah, I mean, going back to La Hormiga, that's why. And like, that's what we're saying. Like, give him the shot over someone like Sepulveda, for example, who's already reached pretty much his cap. The best he can do. Obviously, like he's a good striker. Like, there's no doubt about that. We saw him. He's been banging in goals for Cruz Azul for the past few seasons. But I mean, why not give that third position, who's probably not even gonna get many minutes at the World Cup or in these next international call-ups? Like, give him some opportunities to be training alongside the likes of Santi and Raul.
No, yeah. I mean,
Where he can develop like that at a peak level.
No, especially. I mean, it's difficult to say which forward he replicates the most, but
Yeah,
I think it kind of have to be like Santi, because Raul is. I mean, he's just a monster.
yeah, it's different. Let me know what you guys think. Who would you take? Hormiga, Sepúlveda, Berterame to la selección. Based on like all the Chivas fans right now, if you're listening, based on Hormiga's current form, would you want him to play for la selección mexicana? Obviously, he got called up for the microciclo, but now actually given a chance in some international friendlies. And then, I mean, let us know what you guys thought of the match. Any other afterthoughts that we should add into this, like after the match? What
does this mean for America?
Yeah, what does this mean for America, and what's next for Chivas? For Chivas, let's start off with Chivas first. Is this where the temporada, like, they can save it? They can actually, we know that they have a match against Tigres coming up on Wednesday midweek. It's the match that they didn't get to play in the first match week. So, you think this is gonna be like a change for Chivas? Is this where everything's gonna like move differently for them?
Like, what is scary about Clásicos, and even the owner of America said this. What's scary about Clásicos is this. So you remember about a year ago, from this tournament, America wins their 3rd trophy. But do you remember what happened in that build-up? The first 6 games, America ties 2 games, loses 4. And the Clasico Nacional comes up. Chivas had 5 wins, 2 ties. Right? You remember that when Gago was like, oh, is he going to Boca? Is he not?
Yeah.
And
But
Chivas
like you
had a good moment.
Yeah, and America were like in the mud pretty much. They were
America
like
in the mud.
10th or 12th place, something like that.
The Clasico happens. America wins 1-0. A scrappy game. Chivas was attacking the whole fucking. I remember that game because it's kind of like you're expecting Chivas to score. You're expecting Chivas to score. America scores. You're like, they're not scoring. America's gonna park the fucking bus. They're gonna defend whatever they can. After that game, America from being in 15th place goes all the way up to 8th, qualifies, goes through the Liguilla, plays every fucking second game away, and wins it.
Yeah, they went to play in. No, they went to play in. They played
went to play in
against Cholos.
against Cholos.
Yeah.
They go to quarterfinals. They win it. I forgot against 2, but they had to play every fucking game away because they're one of the lower places.
Yeah.
No, I mean and Azcárraga said that before the Clásico happened. He said Clásicos are scary because that can dictate how you feel throughout the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
America wins the Clásico.
They go on to win the whole fucking
and if you
tournament.
remember this too, when Pauno made it to the final, Pauno lost 2 of his first games, which is normal for a coach. It's normal. They have they don't win the Clásico. They tie it. But the energy that came from that fucking Clásico dictated through the whole game. They end up beating America in the Clásico in semifinals. So Clásicos are scary because it's an adrenaline booster. It boosts everything. It boosts your morale so much.
Yeah, it can make or break your season
Because
essentially.
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, why is Chivas celebrating like this?" When the past 4 or 5 times that we've seen America win, they celebrate just as much because they know it's a mini final.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it means for any of these like fan bases in Mexico. Like, you know what it means to them as well.
Exactly. Like if you're from the U.S. and you're commenting, "Oh, why is Chivas celebrating like that?" You've never seen a Clasico in el Akron.
You don't know what it means to these people.
Exactly. You don't know what it feels like over there. It's just different.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I agree. I think this should make or break not the season, but like it dictates the rest of the season. Like obviously, anything can happen moving forward. Like they can lose against Chivas, and we see like the same form that they were going into before this match, or they use that momentum to kind of boost them and now gain 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and kind of push themselves into Liga spots at least. I don't know about top 6, but at least like the top 8, top 10, because that's essentially what they need. And a lot of pundits from especially like Fútbol Picante, ESPN, they were saying like, oh no, Chivas' season is already done. They're gonna lose all these next 4 matches against these big teams, Cruz Azul, Toluca, Tigres, etc. Like there's even Tuca Ferretti himself. He said, who are they playing? Tigres, Cruz Azul, Toluca, and then America. And he said they're gonna get 0 points from this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's what we saw building up. To be honest, I mean, Chivas attacks well, but what gets caught up in a lot of pundits is they don't watch football with their eyes. I mean, except for Tuca Ferretti. Tuca Ferretti, I can see where he says this.
Yeah.
Because he did say that they're gonna attack, they're gonna have possession, they're not gonna be able to finish. Whereas the other pundits are like, oh no, Chivas is terrible, and it's like you don't watch football with your eyes. It's not that they're bad; they just can't finish sometimes.
Yeah.
And that is a skill issue. I'm not gonna lie. But when you see how prominently they attack forward and you mix in a style of counterattack, I mean, it's just different. But I mean, what do you think? What do you think these 2 games are coming up for Chivas?
I mean, against Tigres, I know it's gonna be difficult. Like I told somebody who had DM'd me after the Chivas match, they're like, "Oh, is this gonna be the turnaround for Chivas?" I was like, honestly, like, based on what I've seen so far, I wouldn't not get past them. That okay, yeah, we win. That Chivas win in the Clasico, and then against Tigres they lose like 2-0. So right now I think it's just like game by game. Maybe this could be the turnaround. Let me know what you guys think. If this is where Chivas turns it around, but this could also just be just the only thing that saves their temporada, or at least they got the win in the Clasico. They hold that over America on their head. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically you have to take it game by game. Now as for America, I don't think this defeat means too much to them because obviously they were doing pretty well in league. And against Chivas specifically, it had been 8 years since they lost. So
I think for America, it means obviously nobody wants to lose El Clásico, right?
Yeah.
But America, at least for now, was exposed in the sense that they can't build forward. So when they would have played, because they played pretty decent teams right now, but when they play these smaller teams are going to try to propose that.
Yeah.
That way, America, like throughout yes, you lost. Yes, it's how you lost too.
Yeah. A lot of teams are going to see it. A lot of coaches are going to be like, oh, you know what? We'll just do exactly or something similar to what Chivas did.
That's what a lot of teams do, especially smaller teams. When
Yeah.
you're talking about teams like Atlético San Luis, Puebla, etc. What this helps America is that you saw what happened.
Yeah, you can now adjust on what you need to adjust.
Like the typical America fan doesn't know ball, and that's just what it is. The typical America fan goes for America because they're the most winning.
So they're winning trophies, and that's it.
Well, at least in my experience, right?
Yeah.
I know there's America fans that we see that do know ball.
They know ball, yeah.
But the average fan in general doesn't know what the fuck what happens in the game. They just see the goals, they're like, oh yeah, they were way better. They scored way more goals.
Yeah, and they see the stats on football, and they're like, oh yeah, he was the best player for sure.
No, yeah, and it's kind of it's like this. Like, America needed this because the games that are coming up are against medium to smaller clubs, so that way they can adjust to this. They can see how do we propose forward. Like, how do we adjust to this? And especially, I mean, it was needed.
Dude, their next game is going to be against Monterrey. Monterrey, who's in first place, haven't lost in I think they're in a 7-game win streak. 7 matches in a row is straight wins. They just beat San Luis in San Luis right now, too. So this could also be a very difficult match for
America.
For America. I think it's going to be another loss, actually.
It's in Monterrey?
It's in Monterrey, too.
No, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to win in Monterrey, but especially after losing at home.
Yeah. I mean, it is a different play style compared to what we saw with with Chivas too.
Lucky for them is that Monterrey is going to try to go forward because they're the #1 team.
Yeah, they're the one that have like the best players.
America can go back to playing how they play.
Yeah, on the counter.
On the counter, off of their mistakes, more reaction.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. Let us know for America fans right now. Let us know, like, was this a big loss for you guys, or you're not really tripping about it? Like, this is just, not doesn't mean too much. And going forward for the rest of the season, I mean, you guys still feel confident that maybe you can get another trophy? Let me know in the comments down below. That's pretty much it. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, check out all the platform links down below, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.